Lakers land, what up? Seven Mitchell, I'm back in the building. Welcome back to my podcast. And today I want to talk about this whole thing with the Lakers and Jonathan Kuminga because a part of me feels like the Lakers need to just walk away from the idea of Jonathan Kuminga. Reports were saying today, I saw that the Atlanta Hawks are actually ready to send him to the Lakers, according to reports, for Jared Vanderbilt plus some draft compensation, whatever that is. But they saying in these reports that the problem is Jonathan Kuminga's camp. They holding everything up because they want more money. And to be honest, I'm just like, fuck them. With all due respect. I don't want to hate on anybody getting a bag or anything like that, but Kuminga has so much to prove to me. Definitely secure your future, but if we're talking about basketball, he has so much to prove to me. I just don't really care so much about money. I just want to hear nothing but dedication when we're talking about Jonathan Kuminga. Me personally, I am not about to die on a hill for any basketball player based off of just potential, especially in 2026. Not when the Lakers are trying to build some type of new identity. Not because Twitter told me that Jonathan Kuminga is the next damn star. Like, let's just talk about it and be real. You know, I think problem number one that we have as Laker fans, y'all keep falling in love with these names. This is what Laker fans do every single summer, yo. A player name get connected to this team, and all of a sudden everybody becomes a fan. When the hell have we been going crazy over Jonathan Kuminga? I watched this kid in Golden State not be able to really grow in or develop into anything in that winning culture. You know, you with the Atlanta Hawks, Trae Youngless Atlanta Hawks, you're not running things over there. But his name get connected to the Lakers, and I'm just watching people for like the last week and a half. Everybody just becomes a fan of Jonathan Kuminga. Everybody want to start making highlight reels. Everybody want to start talking about his upside. Y'all act like Rob Pelinka has to get this deal done. I just don't see it that way. When did Jonathan Kuminga become so untouchable, this major franchise changing player? I missed that part through these first few years of his career, yo. And I've watched this dude. He's explosive. He's athletic. Don't get me wrong. He's strong. He can finish above the rim. This is not really a skill set thing. That's all good. A lot of players in the NBA can do what Jonathan Kuminga do. We're talking about somebody that's bounced between inconsistent minutes, inconsistent effort, and inconsistent production. That's not a recipe for success if you are this new Lakers team that really don't have any identity. And I'm not hating on the young boy. That's just the reality of it. The second part I want to talk about with Jonathan Kuminga when I spoke on this was the Golden State experience. They couldn't unlock Jonathan Kuminga. I've heard people always say, you know, he just needed a bigger role. I mean, Golden State is literally one of the best developmental organizations in the National Basketball Association. Steve Kerr has helped develop stars, role players, championship contributors. I just feel like if that system alone couldn't consistently get the best out of Jonathan Kuminga, why am I supposed to believe that J.J. Redick is supposed to magically fix everything, bro? I'm just not going for the bullshit. I'm just not. People blame Golden State system when we talk about what happened with Kuminga and them. I think that's just too easy. Sometimes the player has to earn more. You can't keep blaming coaches forever. And Golden State was top heavy, so, you know, I know there was a pecking order when Kuminga was in Golden State. He was never going to be one of the top guys. But I'm just talking about from an effort standpoint, from an attitude standpoint, from a willing to learn standpoint. I'm not doubting him. I'm just amazed on how much Laker fans are so gung-ho over Kuminga being this game changer. And I don't really know what happened with the Atlanta Hawks. I didn't really follow him that much, but after being traded to the Hawks, he showed a little bit of flashes. I think he dropped almost 30 in his Atlanta Hawks debut. Everybody got excited about that, but I mean, we got to slow down. Jonathan Kuminga's full body of work to me still matters. Across the regular season, bro, Jonathan Kuminga has averaged 12 points a game, about 6 rebounds and 2 assists. In the NBA, those are solid numbers. Those aren't star numbers. Those are not numbers that say pay me like a future franchise player. And I hope Laker fans aren't being so unrealistic thinking that Jonathan Kuminga, he could be a good addition. But to me, he's just not a game changer, bro. Not at all. And then in the playoffs, he averaging around, 14 points a game? Again, that's pretty cool. There's nothing wrong with that production, but I can't pretend like we talking about a proven difference maker. The Los Angeles Lakers, even though they got Luka and all this, the Lakers don't have no proven guys. Nobody on this Lakers roster has really won anything, I don't believe. With all due respect. My boy Justo said Kuminga is getting passed around. He's not a bum. I don't want to disrespect him. He's not a bum. I just don't feel like what I've seen from him in his career is not worth all these Laker fans going crazy over. Feeling like bringing him in is going to make some type of big adjustment. And then the reports are talking about his camp is asking for more money. I mean, what does that tell you? What does that tell you? If you the Lakers and you're trying to get somewhere, but you don't have money, the Atlanta Hawks are pretty ready, and they're willing to trade him for Vando right now. But Kuminga's camp is holding out for a couple more dollars. It feels like this young boy is putting money over winning. And I'm not going to blame him because you only get, certain amounts of opportunities to get paid. But it ain't like you got to finish your career in Los Angeles. You need to go somewhere and really make a name for yourself so you can earn a big paycheck. That's just how I look at it. The Atlanta Hawks wasn't lighting the league on fire. Without Trae Young carrying the offense, where exactly did Kuminga prove he, elevated the franchise? And now he want more money? That's where I check out of this whole conversation of the Lakers and Jonathan Kuminga, bro. The Atlanta Hawks, like I said, they are ready right now. And they will take Vando. I know a lot of Laker fans have been fed up with Vando for probably a season and a half. Atlanta is willing to take Vando right now. And the Lakers appear to be interested in getting the deal done, but it's the almighty dollar. And it's Jonathan Kuminga in his camp. They want more. And my only question is, you want more based on what? Potential? Your athleticism? Because to me, it damn sure isn't based on production. The NBA has gotten obsessed with paying people for what they might become instead of what they are actually fucking doing. And I feel like that's dangerous. Especially for a team that's already paying stars, bro. The Lakers are damn near broke. They don't need another expensive experiment. They need dependable, reliable basketball players at the end of the day. Guys who know they role, guys who know how to rebound, guys who know how to defend, guys who don't need 18 shots to stay engaged inside the game. And for what it's worth, it ain't like this Lakers team is this hell of a team, defensive lockdown nightmare. Teams are going to be so afraid. Vando, for what it's worth, is one of the best defenders the Lakers have on this roster, if not the best defender on this roster. I believe Vando actually fits winning basketball. Does he frustrate me offensively? Absolutely. The dude don't have no bag. Can he disappear sometimes on offense? Sure. But he consistently gives you energy, rebounding, effort. I feel like Vando consistently gives you switchability. Those things matter. People are acting like Vando is some throwaway contract. I don't feel like he got major value, but I feel like his what he brings to the table, depending on what team you're talking about. If you're trading them, it better be for somebody that's clearly better than him, not for somebody that we hope become better. I don't know what's up with y'all in this whole the Lakers need to get Jonathan Kuminga. I mean, I've literally seen comments on social media of people saying if the Lakers got Jonathan Kuminga, we are going to the finals. In what world do you come up basketball wise with the theory that the Lakers are going to go to the NBA finals based off of the addition of this kid? What is the Lakers window actually? Are the Lakers looking to win now? Are they looking to rebuild? Because when LeBron and them was here, it seems to be kind of stuck in the middle. They would love to win now, but it seems like they was basing for the future of Luka. They've geared everything around Luka, but Luka's only locked in for what, 3 years, 4 years at this point? With hella basketball legs, we truly don't know how long Luka's going to play in a Lakers uniform. So what is the window like for the Lakers? Is the Lakers window now? Is this a rebuilding team? I don't feel like this is OKC. This isn't Utah. This isn't Brooklyn. These are the Lakers. Every move has to have championship or at least competitive expectations attached to it. When it comes to Jonathan Kuminga, I don't want to really hear a whole bunch of excuses. I don't want to hear that he's only 23. I don't care. We've been saying shit like that for years. Eventually, upside has to become production. Eventually, potential has to become consistency. Athleticism has to become winning basketball. At some point, all the excuses, it got to expire, bro. If Jonathan Kuminga wants star money, then go let another franchise take that gamble, yo. I don't see the Lakers benefiting off of possibly overpaying this unproven young man. Let another team deal with this shit. It does not have to be the Lakers. I'm not saying that Kuminga can't become a really good player. Please believe. I'm not saying that. I believe he absolutely can. But that's exactly the point. Can, not has. The Lakers should not, under no circumstance, be paying premium prices for possibilities. They already overpaid Walker Kessler. I honestly feel like they overpaid Austin Reeves. We're going to see that shit happen in real time. But the Lakers don't have no money to be playing around with. They don't have draft capital to be playing around with. To me, they don't even have time to be playing around with. Every dollar matters. Every roster spot matters. Especially when Luka is in his prime and this organization, to me, is trying to maximize his championship window. You don't mortgage your flexibility just because everybody keep falling in love with some highlight dunks. That shit don't work. Basketball, especially today's game, is won by consistency. Today's game of basketball is won by chemistry, by basketball IQ. Championships are won by sacrifice, not by collecting names. If this nigga Jonathan Kuminga want more money than his production say he deserves, then I wish him the best of luck. If I'm the Lakers, Rob Pelinka, I shake his hand and move on. I feel like the Lakers have bigger priorities than convincing another high upside basketball player to finally become what people have been predicting him to be for 5 years. At the end of the day, man, I just feel like you guys as Laker fans and me, when we have this debate or this conversation about Jonathan Kuminga, we are always going to be on two different sides of the fence. The Lakers should just walk away from this possible deal. I'm not saying that the team is good as constructed. I still feel like the Lakers got hella moves that need to be made. I'm not convinced that Bronny James will finish the season out in a Lakers uniform. I'm not convinced that Dalton Knecht will finish the season in a Lakers uniform. But seeing how much of the Laker community are seem like they are dying on the hill to get Jonathan Kuminga. Not to say that he wouldn't help this team, but the way people are clamoring for it, Laker fans are clamoring for him, and now hearing reports that he's asking for more money when Atlanta is willing to trade him to the Lakers. I don't want that guy. I don't want him. I'm not blaming him for going to get his bag. He's a young man. You better get it while it's hot, if it's hot. But I just feel like my team, this team specifically, don't need to have that attitude. They don't need to have that type of player coming into this mix, especially when the Lakers are trying to figure out who they are. You want guys that's going to come in that's about effort, not about a dollar bill. My boy Bit said it, that he hasn't proved anything. I'm not taking nothing away from his skill set. You know, he can get it in at times. We've seen spurts in Atlanta. We've seen spurts in Golden State, but it's not enough for all the woofing that I'm seeing Laker fans talking about all week when it comes to this nigga. Let me ask y'all a question. Would you trade Vando and the draft compensation for Jonathan Kuminga if it also meant giving Kuminga the contract that he wants? Or would you just walk away from the deal? There's a possible deal already done. Atlanta said they'll take Vando and a couple draft compensation and they'll give up Kuminga, but his team want more. Should the Lakers pay up? Bit says hell no. He's athletic, but he can't shoot. He isn't locked in enough on defense. And bigger than that, bro, his mental, his effort, we need dogs. The Lakers need dogs. I'm not saying they need tough guys or bullies, but they need guys that's going to be aggressive. If you're going to lose somebody like Vando, even though Vando gets on our nerves offensively, like I said before, Vando might be one of the best, if not the best defensive player we have on this team. If you're going to get rid of that, you have to bring in something better, something that you can rely on that's better, not something that's better on paper. Chris said these birds ain't flying this winter. You know, it just amazes me what direction the Lakers are really going in. Will Luka, are Laker fans ready to give Luka the ultimate pass and say that Luka has joined the Lakers in a rebuilding stage, or are people going to put the pressure on Luka to bring a championship in these next 3 seasons? Because LeBron had a young team in 2018, and it got adjusted, moves got made, but he wound up getting it done. You know, what are the expectations going to be for Luka? And Austin Reeves especially. Those guys are locked in for at least 3 years. I think Walker Kessler as well, 3 to 4 years. So you got your main 3. How long will Laker fans give Luka a pass? How long will Luka want to stay in LA if they not moving the needle? Because again, all these moves that are happening, Luka checked off on all these. These moves have been made for Luka. This is Luka's Lakers now. This is what y'all asked for. The bid has been made. Now Lakers land, y'all got to lay in it. But to sit here and read people talk about the Lakers will be a championship contender with Jonathan Kuminga, I just don't know. And what game are we watching? There's definitely some upside with the Lakers with the roster that they got. Like I said, Kuminga could help to a point. But the Lakers ain't, let's just be real. Let's just be real. I feel like the Lakers lost entirely too much in this offseason, and they overspent to try to fill this roster. I remember Bit said something last week. We was on the show. Bit talked about Rob Pelinka not sitting on his hands. That's the only thing people could honestly give Rob Pelinka credit for is just not being frozen. Yes, he spent money. He made moves throughout this offseason. If you want to give him credit for that, because there has been off seasons where Rob Pelinka hasn't done shit. No signings, no nothing. So if you want to give him credit for filling out this roster, then have at it. But you can't walk around here with your chest out talking about you are a historic Laker fan and, you know, you wanted LeBron to be gone and this is Luka's team now, and then he now gets a green light for the next 2-3 seasons to try to build something, to try to build a playoff team. I don't see championship in LA for a long time, yo. Like, we would have to talk about another superstar coming to this team in the next couple of years for me to honestly feel like, Banner 18 is going to be hung. I'm not trying to be no hater. I'm just being real to what we have in front of us. I feel like losing. Y'all don't want to hear it. I know y'all get tired of me beating the same drum, yo, but I promise you, yo, the Lakers are going to feel losing LeBron James, yo. They're going to feel it. They are going to feel it, bro. And it's not just about LeBron. It's about Rui. It's about Marcus Smart. I hate the NBA nowadays because teams don't have an opportunity to build. If guys don't get it together like in one season or a half a season, that shit is getting broke up in the off season. Coaches are getting fired and replaced like it's nothing. No team has an opportunity to really build anything, even losing, coming back stronger the next season. Like, everything is a one and done. But like I said, Joe, if I was the Lakers, I would just walk away from this Jonathan Kuminga idea. I just don't think that the good outweighs the potential bad. He's not a game changer. And he asking for more money. Those two things are just immediate red flags for me if I'm the Lakers, because you're going to need Kuminga to have impact. He's not a guy that you coming to trying to bring in just to fill his roster. You looking for this dude, I'm assuming, to get some real impactful minutes, if not start. So it looks like the Lakers are now caught up in another interesting situation. I don't know how we got here, but y'all Laker fans are something special to me, yo. Y'all are something special to me. The way y'all are going so hard for Jonathan Kuminga joining this team, like that's really going to mean something, is amazing. It's amazing. My boy Chris said the Lakers are going to need to have Kareem, Kobe, Magic, and LeBron to join Luka. I actually did a NBA 2K26 video, a simulation video, where I put Luka, I paired up Luka with 4 Lakers legends: Kareem, Kobe, Magic, and I didn't use LeBron. I think I used Shaq. And the Lakers still didn't win a damn championship. Ain't that crazy? Just pathetic. So, we got a lot to talk about. I'm not going to hold y'all up too much, but I am going to try to go live every evening and give y'all my thoughts on something that's happening with these Lakers, because there is truly a lot to talk about, yo. It is truly a lot to talk about. I think later this week we'll dive a little bit more deeper into report card grades. Who's the guy that the Lakers just brought somebody else in, a decent 3-and-D player. What was that? Thibault, whatever his name is. They brought him in and they acting like he's a hell of a nigga. Like, every time a name gets connected to coming to the Lakers, fans act like these niggas are just the one. Like, God bless Laker fans, yo. I'm Seven Mitchell, Lakers land. I am out. Salute to y'all. Hope y'all have a decent Saturday. I'll be back at you guys sometime tomorrow. We'll be chopping it up more. What haven't we really talked about? I know I haven't really been live that much this offseason. I need to get it together. But what haven't we really talked about much in this offseason now that LeBron is gone. Maybe tomorrow we should focus on Bronny. We haven't really talked about Bronny. I'm really, really interested in the future, the near future of Bronny James. According to reports, the Lakers are wanting to keep him and develop him. I just don't know what are they looking to develop him into. I do think Bronny, if he's going to have a career in the NBA, is going to be on the defensive side of the basketball court. But now that LeBron has his destination in Philly, this is going to be interesting to see how this play out with Bronny James in the Lakers, even on this little guaranteed deal, because that is a roster spot that the Lakers could use before the trade deadline if they find a deal. So we're going to lock in tomorrow. We're going to talk about Bronny James and what his future looks like with the Los Angeles Lakers. But y'all be safe. Shout out to my boy Chris for coming through this evening. Shout out to my boy Bit for coming through, man. This is the Lakers Land Podcast. I am Seven Mitchell. Do me a favor, man. Like the video, hype the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new. I am going to find a platform to get these podcasts back out on Spotify as well as Apple Podcasts. I did everything in rotation, but I've been gone for a little while. So we back and we'll get this shit together. But I'll holler at you guys tomorrow, man. Stay safe. Y'all let me know what y'all think about the Lakers and Jonathan Kuminga. Should they walk away from the idea of Kuminga, or should they go hard and even pay this nigga whatever he asking for? I'll get with you guys tomorrow so we can bust it down about Bronny James and these Lakers, bro. Y'all stay safe. I'll catch y'all tomorrow, man. I'm out. Peace.